So I had something happen to me the other day when I was editing, and it was a real goof on my part. And the mistake ended up costing me an additional like 90 minutes of editing video, time that I could have been using to do some other productive stuff. But I just want to talk about it for a few moments. So often when you hear people talking about camera reviews, they talk a lot about, oh, I wish it had this, I wish it had that. And one of those things that they talk about is a headphone jack and a microphone input jack. In particular, the microphone input is what I hear a lot of hemming and hawing and complaining that they wish this particular camera had that included in it. And I understand why. It's more popular nowadays than ever to use something like a Video Mic Pro on top of your camera, on top of your DSLR. This is a shotgun microphone that's meant to be mounted on the hot shoe of your DSLR or mirrorless camera when you're capturing video. And I understand why they're popular. You just tighten them down on top of your camera. So this is the Shure VP83F. The VP83F, and this is the type of microphone that I'm talking about. It's a hot shoe mounted microphone meant to be mounted on the top of your camera to capture audio in a very narrow passage, straightforward, and it rejects sound from the sides and the rear. And it captures much better audio than your camera because the preamps are better, and I understand why these are popular. In particular, the Rode series of Video Mic Pros and those sorts of microphones. This one's a little bit different because it records onboard sound. Whereas the Rode systems, you have to plug them in. They have to be plugged in into your camera so that the camera can capture that audio inside the camera itself. They don't actually capture the sound inside a micro SD like this does right here. So this is what I wanted to talk about this video. I'm going to be talking about why you should consider recording dual system rather than recording into your camera. This is the LX100. It does not have a mic or headphone jack. And a lot of people will say, oh, cameras like those without the inputs and the outputs are not good for video. You don't want to use them. And I understand where they're coming from because you want to be able to save time in post. You want to be able to be as efficient as possible. You want to be able to have all the bells and whistles to make your job of video production easier. And I get it. But like I started off the video saying, I had a nightmare happen the other day, and it was with this camera, the GH5, and it added a lot of time to my production schedule than I would have hoped for. But I was in a good mood and I handled it like a champ and I got the job done. So let me tell you what happened. I set up everything. I start out turning on the lights. Everything's on. And I set up my audio, did a check, and set up the camera, did a check, white balance, the whole 9, exposure. Started the video. Went great. Lo and behold, I find that the 3.5 millimeter jack that was going from my Zoom H5 to the GH5 was not flush, which resulted in the GH5 recording nothing but noise. And it wasn't loud noise, it was almost silence. And I should have picked it up when I was checking myself in the confidence monitor that there wasn't any audio being registered. I didn't, and that's my fault. But I didn't plug it in all the way and it resulted in non-usable sound, so I could not sync my audio. Whereas if I had simply let the camera capture its own audio, I would have had a scratch track to play with and Pluraleyes would have known what to do with it, but I had to do it visually instead because the audio recorded in my audio recorder didn't have anything to sync to. So I had to go ahead and eyeball it and figure where is this sound supposed to match up with this video. But a lot of people will tell you to visually clap, right? And that's one of the reasons is because when you visually clap, boom, right in front of the camera, then at least you have a point of visual reference too, and I did not do that. I simply talked my way through the procedure, and I'll say lights on, microphone on, audio recording, and I'll say the date, and I'll say some metadata before the video starts. I'll start the video and I'll know what I'm talking about. But if you're gonna do the type of audio where you plug into the camera, make sure you have a visual reference. You know, that's why they have a slapper card. I don't have one of those. I didn't have a visual reference and I didn't have an audio reference, and it added a lot of time to my post-production. I could have been playing with my daughter or doing some documents or writing a blog or an article or been posting to social media or something. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know that this video is a case against why you should use these type of microphones. You should just go ahead and record separate sound and not rely on it to record in the camera. In this case, I've always been pairing up my LX100 with my VP83, and I don't have the option to sync. So I've always recorded here and recorded the scratch track here. No cables or anything, and I know I'm guaranteed to get a good sync all the time without any kind of reference point or anything. Just make sure you have the fresh batteries in there, the card is empty or fresh and formatted, and everything here is good to go, and you're fine. I've never run into a problem with this system. It just takes that extra step, which is automated through Giant Pluraleyes anyway. So this is why you should not be plugging in to one of these. All right. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. It's a nightmare that can happen to any one of us. I've heard a couple YouTubers complain about not getting the microphone jack in all the way, and it caused the problems in post-production. So I get it. It's time consuming. So think about that. That's something I just wanted to share. Make sure you like and subscribe and check out my website, check out my app, and I hope to see you guys next time.